No, last week we went down for a show. So which one is graduated? Whatever one dad graduated, and then Natalie, she's one. We were really worried. We knew ready to go, and Natalie's going to be a mom. So she's doing really well. She's doing really well. We were worried because the testing and things like that came a lot easier to Nathan than Natalie. And let me tell you something, Natalie's work ethic put Nathan to shame. I shouldn't say work. That's probably not the right state. Study happens. Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say work ethic. Study happens. Natalie works at it, Nathan never works.
Right, it's just kind of comes naturally. Right.
I said, Nathan, put some work into this. Yeah.
You could have been valedictorian.
Oh my God.
Natalie's better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but she's loving it. I mean, she went to her first concert last week, with friends, but she's never been to a concert before. She went to a concert, she really enjoyed herself. And she's been cannon for fun. Yep. Been doing that. Yep. And she's going really well.
That's really great.
Oh my gosh. There's always things for them to do. We're going up this weekend at this week. So we'll go on Saturday and spend the day with her. Because they play Ohio State on Saturday night. So it's an away game. Anyhow, that's good.
Ohio State.
Huh?
It's always a rough game.
Oh yeah. It's good to see you. See things okay?
Oh yeah, it's going well. It's going well. This is we go to the Metropolitan Art Museum of Art.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, you know what? We went to this year. We went to the Met, so we're switching up sometimes, but.
Good. Oh, yeah. No, I think they have a shirt maybe got me to do tonight. Yeah. That's good.
Yep, we used to go on field trips. So on field trips up to listen.
Is that what's up? Yeah. Gotcha. Good. All those things are so good. Always thought that Gretchen stuff.
Unless your lights automatically go off, we were notified there's a blue Ford Explorer in the parking lot with its lights on. Perhaps you want to go out and tend to it. It is not in the superintendent's spot. It is not on. Who said it's not? Jaguars. Everybody's here but our student rep, but I think we're going to go ahead and get started anyways because it is 7 o'clock, and you know I'm so punctual. All right, so we'd like to open tonight's meeting with our opening and flag salute by Director Howard, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'll make one promise here tonight that I will not violate any U.S. copyright laws. It came to my attention at a committee meeting that one of our openings was not able to be uploaded for viewing due to a copyright infringement. We need to be careful as board members not to infringe on the rights of those who have taken the time to protect their work with copyright. I also want to apologize to Winston Churchill's family for not giving him credit for a quote that I used in my farewell speech as president. You got enemies. Good, that means you actually stood up for something. In my research, I found many places where Eminem did really say that. Obviously, Mr. Churchill is older and in most circles considered wiser. I do find it amazing that Churchill and Eminem share common thoughts. After tonight, we'll have 3 members leaving the board at the end of November. I want to thank them for their service to this district and community. Matt Arnold. Matt, I want to thank you for your service and dedication to the board. You didn't say a lot in our meetings, but when you did, you're like that old E.F. Hutton commercial. When E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen. You've been consistent with your stance on property taxes and represented the property owning very well. Thank you. Dr. Dan Martell, when I came on the board, you took me under your wing and instantly became my mentor. I've learned a lot from you and will miss your guidance. Your willingness to serve, knowing that it will cost your business, is a great example of sacrifice. The board and the school district will miss your expertise on the management committee and the CTC board. Sue Warner, your time has ended too soon on this board. Unlike Matt and Dan, you ran and the voters decided to go in a different direction. I do not think the community realizes that all you do for the school district. You were serving on the IU board before I came on the board. You have served and chaired the programs committee. You have given us valuable input to make many decisions. When I resigned as president, you won the election and have done an outstanding job. After you did not win in the primary, you did not pack it in. You continue to move forward and continually make our school district better. In the last few months, you passed a budget that restores many cuts that we made in the past, added a transportation secretary, improved our public input, and most importantly, have negotiated a contract with the classified and Act 93 employees. The district will be forever in debt of the 3 of you for making the NLSD a better place for our students to obtain their education. Thank you. The other day, I had a spring-like experience. It was like seeing your first robin in spring, but it was a Vote 5 sign. And like any robin you see, you start seeing more and more and more. The same is true with the Vote 5 signs. I've never seen a block of 5 join forces and set out to accomplish something. I'm truly impressed in how they ran their campaign on social media, through yard signs, at the poll. It was a job well done, and the voters rewarded you with a landslide victory. Let me be the first one to congratulate you in November. It may be premature, but I don't think so. I think come December, you'll be all sitting here at the board. And let me be the first to congratulate Glenn on being our next president. I wish you luck in changing and improving our school. The last candidate that I remember that promised change was Barack Obama. And the biggest change that I've seen from him, he's turned my $20 bill into 35 cents in my pocket. The one thing that many politicians have in common is their campaign doesn't have the details and specifics that us voters really would like to see. I see in some of your literature that you're focused on accountability of leadership, community partnership, and excellent academics. To me, these are all buzzwords. I really need to see what the meat and potatoes that you are going to offer in building a better, more livable school district. I think the first and most important decision you will have to make at your December meeting is, are you going to fire Dr. Bell, or are you going to keep him to the end of his contract? So will we have a new superintendent on December 15th or June the 17th? Community has spoken loud and clearly that they're demanding the next superintendent to be paid a lot less. Dr. Bell gets paid too much, we've heard that, and they need to be better. Another problem that
Did you
we
hand in a green
face.
slip?
What's that?
I have to hand in a green slip. Did you hand in a green slip to go this far?
I'm sorry, you are out of order. This is his opening and he's allowed to say his piece.
To this extent?
Could you kindly have her removed, please?
I do not wish to remove you. Could you please listen with the politeness that the board has extended to other people when they have been at the podium?
Thank you, Madam President. Lebanon County has a drug problem. Northern Lebanon School District does not have a student or teacher drug testing. I think this would be an example of one thing you can start with in making our school district better. The other question I hear in public is, with a third of the board belonging to the Teachers Association, are we going to be able to get a fair contract for all the taxpayers in the districts? We need to invest more dollars directly into the students. For example, it's not fair that 5-year-old uniforms worn by senior high school students get passed down to the junior high students playing sports. I don't think it's done that way in Hershey. When do your clothes of your 18-year-old fit a 12-year-old? Our tests on our Keystone exams are extremely poor. We need to improve them and focus on better education. We need to develop an immediate plan to improve these scores. The question is our curriculum out of line, or our lesson plans not being focused on the essentials? I think we need to expand our curriculum to offer more classes. I'm curious to see what our nearby school districts like Hershey's offer. Our kids deserve the same quality educations that other students get. One of the biggest challenges you'll face when you take over the leadership of the board is dealing with the truth, not what people think the truth is. Let me give you a few examples of these. Nate Erdman blasted the programs committee for not being qualified to make a decision related to our coaches and a review of our coaching staffs. I'm not sure why Nate thought this committee was not qualified to make this decision. I'm not sure if it's because there's just 3 women on it and women can't make decisions about sports. I'm not sure if Nate realized that on this committee sits Bonnie Bixler, who's one of our longtime employees and was the head coach of our field hockey for many years. To my best of my recollection, she's the only coach ever to have coached an Olympic athlete at Northern Lebanon. She is more than qualified to make any decisions related to our sports program due to her experiences as an administrator and as a longtime coach. Another comment was made in public input that the superintendent drives a turquoise Jaguar. After further research, I found out that this turquoise Jaguar belonged to a teacher. I think the comment was made in reference that the superintendent driving a turquoise Jaguar makes too much money. Does that hold true now that it belongs to a teacher? That a teacher makes too much money? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in this person's next monologue. There was a story on Penn Live about myself and a petition to get me ousted from the school board. This petition dealt with an offense that only administrators could. As a school board member, I am not an administrator. The petition was going to take me to the Commons Police Court. It never happened. I wonder whatever happened in the petition and why they never lived up to their promise. It's a tough world to legislate in when everyone defines what the truth is and nobody really cares what the truth is. Again, I really look forward to the 5 of you taking control of the school board and making it better. Our kids deserve the best that we can offer them. Normally I would close at this point with a prayer, thanking God for our many blessings and for sending your son into the world. But I've been advised not to do that because someone has sent a letter into the Freedom from Religion organization, and our solicitor has advised us not to pray in public. And I apologize to my fellow Christians for not having the courage to stand up for my Lord and Savior. But in lieu of that, I did find a poem that I thought was very appropriate that I'd like to use in closing. This poem is called the New School Prayer, and it was given credit to a team in Baghdad, Arizona. Now I sit me down in school where praying is against the rule, for this great nation under God finds mention of him very odd. As scripture now the class recites, it violates the Bill of Rights. At any time my head I bow becomes a federal matter now. Our hair can be purple, orange, or green. That's no offense. It's a freedom scene. The law is specific. The law is precise. Prayers spoken out loud are a serious vice. For praying in a public hall might offend someone with no faith at all. In silence alone, we must meditate. God's name is prohibited by the state. We are allowed to cuss and dress like freaks and pierce our noses, tongues, and cheeks. Leave out loud guns, but first the Bible. To quote the good book makes me liable. We can elect a pregnant senior queen and the unwed daddy, our senior king. It's inappropriate to teach right from wrong. We're taught that such judgments do not belong. We can get our condoms and our birth control, study witchcraft, vampires, and totem poles, but the 10 Commandments are not allowed. No word of God must reach this crowd. It's scary here, I must confess, when chaos reigns the school mess. So Lord, this silently I make, should I be shot, my soul please take. Amen. Now will you please stand for the flag salute.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Houck, for your opening, and I do want to comment that Dr. Martell is on call this evening, so if you do see him sprint out, it's nothing he said, you said, or anybody's actions. It's just a phone call that he receives. So I'd like to call this meeting to order, and we'll begin with roll call. Mary, is everybody present? Yes. Following last time's committee meeting, we did hold an executive session to discuss a contractual item. Everybody should have received the minutes with their agenda. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
So moved.
Motion on the floor to accept them. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Obviously, you also received your agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as printed?
Second.
Motion on the floor to accept the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. Thank you, everybody. Time to move on to administrative reports, and I think this is going to be our first report from Trevor Saylor. Actually, second, I guess.
First one.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out to see me tonight.
Yeah, Trevor. You're not on yet.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
All right. Thanks for coming out to see me speak tonight. I know a lot of you are excited for this presentation. I did want to just introduce myself if you haven't met me before. My name is Trevor Saylor. I'm the principal here at Lakeville Elementary as well as Fredericksburg Elementary. I was approved at the June board meeting, so if I haven't met you yet, I hope to. I'll be either so you come see me anytime I'll be there. I wanted to start this evening off by explaining this presentation. I wasn't exactly sure how I wanted to set it up because I wanted to speak to some of the things that are happening in both schools. I decided to start off with a few slides about Fredericksburg and then go into some slides that happened in Lakeville and just explain those things a little bit. This first slide is first day of Fredericksburg Elementary School. Slightly less than 200 kids, but tremendous staff, both teachers, classified staff, great families, great kids. We've had a tremendous year so far with that at Fredericksburg. This was Patriots Day, September 11th. We had red, white, and blue clothes. We went out to the flagpole in the morning for the Pledge of Allegiance. A couple words were said, brief remembrance, very kid-friendly, trying to keep this positive as possible, but yet bring back remembrance of why we're having that day. Constitution Day in first grade, September 17th. I wanted to talk about that a little bit, but I think the video speaks a little better than I could. So this is the short video from Mrs. Showalter's first grade class. Sorry, my first time using the laptop. I might struggle with that one a little bit, so let me just speak to it instead of maybe the video. If it comes to me how to play that, I'll come back to it. But basically, to sum it up, they sing a song about the preamble of the Constitution. What they do is they speak to the rules they created in the classroom and the cafeteria in the library, and it's how they created them. They hung the little preambles in the hallway, they signed them. It's very exciting. They used feather pens, which was a big deal, and they presented over the announcements in the morning. Okay, the next is a thank you. I did a little read aloud tour in both buildings. Took a book to each classroom about character education and read it to the students because I wanted the students to know who I was. I wanted to get to know them a little bit on their turf. So this is a thank you card from Mrs. Wolf's Autistic Support Room. One of the thank yous that I got that I thought kind of was just very thoughtful and nice for the slideshow today. And Doc Day. This is something that was new to me. I've worked in elementary schools for 10 years. I had never heard of Doc Day before, but Susan Russin has Doc Day. It's a book it's called The Doc by Peter Reynolds, and it celebrates International Doc Day. What that is it's done across the country. Students wear clothing that has dots on it, and they incorporate the dots not only into their attire, but also into activities that are happening in their classroom. And it encourages students to make your mark and see where it takes you. For the story makes a lot of sense. Next, Lakeville. I wasn't able to start the first day up here, but you can see it's also a school with approximately 200 students. Once again, great families, great students, teachers that care about the kids, and kids that work very hard on the year. They had Grandparents' Day this year. I thought Grandparents' Day, that's a very cool thing to have Grandparents' Days at the schools I've been to. I didn't think we would have a problem with parking because so many grandparents came here. This was just a fourth grade activity. Almost 70 grandparents were here. We decided next year we think we actually have to open up the playground so people can park out in the playground because it was full. People parked in the yard. So it was pretty exciting, and it came to my attention that 2 of the grandparents actually attended Lakeville Elementary, which was just a 2-room school. So it was before this building was established, which is very cool to me to learn a little bit more about the North Lebanon School District that has been here, so I found that very interesting. We had Patriots Day here, Pledge of Allegiance, and Mrs. Foxwell led them in My Country 'Tis of Thee. I definitely did not volunteer to lead the song, but it was still, she was a tremendous singer, it's good for her, it's unbelievable. But it was very exciting, the kids enjoyed it very much. The day after that, there was a butterfly project, actually the same day, where second grade released the butterflies, the FOSS science unit. In second grade, they had insects, and this is what they were going to learn. They had the chrysalises in the classroom. They studied the life process and released butterflies in the little island out front where the drive where the young trees are. So picture of that. And this is a picture from the Real Tour up here at Lickdale. That's first grade, one of the books that I read to those students. And we also had dot day here was the following day. Fredericksburg was one day, Lickdale was the next day. So for a man who owns no dots, I have to have dots taped onto my suits. It was a lot of fun in both cases. So that is all I have. So if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer for you. And if you want to see the video, I can possibly email that to you so you can enjoy in the conference.
Thank you, Mr. Saylor. I hope you've settled in at Fredericksburg and Lickdale. I've been hearing some great reports from you. My granddaughter really likes you, so you must be doing a great job. Thank you for your report, and hope you settled in and be here for many more years. I hope you turn it off too. Hey, and a note was delivered back up here again. I'm assuming that the lights are still on. So if you own a blue Ford Explorer with doctor's handwriting JWS1292.
Could be me. I have a rental car, so that could be mine. It wasn't registering. It's not my normal vehicle. I will be back.
Keyword had, they may never run it to him again. Okay, and we're going to move on now to special presentations. We have two of them. One for the high school, and these are just verbal at this point. The students are honored by coming here to the board meeting at the June meeting, no, May meeting, either June or May meeting, but we do announce them as they win them by month. And the high school students of the month for September are Rebecca, and I'm gonna need help, Boisvert, okay, and Charlie Darkus Perky. And this award is sponsored jointly by the Fredericksburg and Jonestown Lions Clubs, and each recipient will be recognized at a future meeting of the Lions Club. The second presentation is the middle school student of the month for September is Lindsay Kaiser. This award is sponsored by the Northern Lebanon County Rotary Club, and each recipient will be recognized at a future meeting of the Rotary Club. And our third special presentation, this time we'll turn the microphone over to our student board representative, Haley Reinbold.
Some of the upcoming events that we have going on is the FFA is starting preparation for the Thanksgiving food drive, which we do every year. Mrs. Mosser is starting preparation for the junior senior class play. Some current events is homecoming is this week, which includes the dance, and the theme is the Wizard of Oz. Powder puff, car and hall decorating, pep rally and spirit days, and also the Worker for a Day auction is tonight for the ag department. Some of the past events was the community pep rally helped raise money for the sports teams and the clubs. The Hinkle Fest petting zoo was a success for the ag department. Maya Anderson, the foreign exchange student, won the Lancaster Lebanon League's Class AA singles crown. She will be moving on to districts this Saturday in Hershey for tennis. And Nate Lyon made it into the National Marching Band, which is called the 2016 All-American Marching Band.
Thank you very much, Haley. Does any board members have any questions or any clarifications you'd like? If not, thank you very much. We do have a student rep come every month, and for those of you new that haven't been here and seen how this operates before, Haley will be coming every month that she can, and she'll be giving an update on various programs from the booster clubs to the FFA to the chorus to the band, and letting us know what's happening in the high school. Okay, burning question. John Rizzo, was it you?
For the record, yes, it was my vehicle. Not officially my vehicle, but yes, it was my vehicle. Yes, so don't go far.
Okay. Moving on to old business. Does the board have any old business to present at this time? If not, we'll move into the public input session for items that are on the agenda. And I do have 5, but they all will be handled post-agenda and not pre-agenda. So we'll move on in our meeting and head to approve our consensus agenda. I'm sorry, he was trying to keep me straight and... You ended up on the bottom of my pile. I'm really am very sorry. Tom Rank, would you please come up? And your topic is going to be the Transportation Secretary. And I do apologize for this one. And also, in keeping with our revised policy, comments will now be limited to 4 minutes. And Dr. Martell is our timer.
All right, I'll keep this brief and then I'm going to leave because the rest of this meeting is probably not good for my blood pressure. I'm just going to read this off to keep it short. I was shocked to hear on the news you wanted to hire a transportation secretary. This is just another blatant example of a waste of taxpayer money. If the man you have contracted to do the job needs a secretary, it's up to him to hire one, not you. If he cannot or will not fulfill his contract, fire him. Out in the real world, it's just that simple. Put the job up for bids. I'm sure the district knows what it would cost to do it in-house. You will know if it's a good deal. If the bids are high, then do it in-house. Doesn't anybody remember this process? What have you done is just plain irresponsible. And I know the last thing I have to say will not do any good because I'm sure you hear this a lot. But you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Rank. Okay, at this time, it's time to move into our consensus agenda. And Director Martell, would you take that, please?
Okay, I move the consensus agenda. Second.
Any questions? I'm sorry, any comments? If not, then let's proceed to vote. And this is on the entire A and B consensus agenda?
Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mary, please.
Arnold,
Yes.
England,
Yes.
Gray,
That's a yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Lum,
Yes.
Martell,
Yes.
Werner,
Yes.
all in favor.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move on to the reports of the committees and Management Committee. Dr. Martell, again, would you please take this?
Okay, Management Committee, I move item A, 1 through 10. Second.
Any discussion on items A, 1 through 10?
I'd like to say, I wish Mr. Rank could be here, but I believe, am I correct in saying that for years, as part of the Transportation Secretary, we were to supply a secretary for that position?
That is correct. Your contractual agreement calls for the district to
For
provide a
years,
secretary.
he's really never asked for one.
Correct.
So we're giving him one, which we should have done. He's been our contractor for several years that I've been on the board. And so it's something that he could have had, but he didn't choose to have that, or we didn't provide that for him. I guess he would have taken it in time, and we never provided it. So it's not something that is pulling out of the blue. It's something that we should have been doing for several years. That's all.
Any other comments on agenda items A, 1 through 10? Not Mary, roll call vote, please.
England,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Sell,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Lum,
Yes.
Martell,
Yes.
Werner,
Yes.
Arnold,
Yes.
all in favor.
Move item B.
Second.
Comments? If not, roll call vote, please.
Gray,
Yes.
Bixler,
Yes.
Sal?
Yes.
Hal?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Warner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
All in favor?
Move item C.
Second.
Comments?
I think this is a really great move. Ever since I've been on the board, I felt this is an area that needed to be addressed. And if you look at the salary scale, it's really not a working wage. And one of my disappointments in your seat, Sue, that I was never able to think of a way to do that. So I'm very grateful to you and Dan and Steve to be able to sit down with this group and negotiate and fix this. If we would have be one of the progressive states that would put the minimum wage at $10 an hour, we would have a serious problem because our current contract would be in violation of the minimum wage laws. This is a step, probably a halfway step to fix that problem. So this is for 3 years, but I think it needs to be addressed again in 3 more years to get it to a more workable wage. These are our custodian staff, our aides, you know, a big part of the behind the scenes part of the education with people that don't get enough credit and are seen enough by the public. So I think that the negotiations with this group went very smoothly, and I think the compromise and the way that this deal was be able to put together so quickly and agreeable was that they were willing to really give on their health insurance and provide some savings to the school district that really were able for us to, I think, at the same time not hurt their health insurance or make it less viable, but just got creative with it, and with that creativity we were able to put more dollars in their pockets that they can use to help support their families. So thank you, Tim, for helping with that. So.
Any other comments from the board? I agree an awful lot with what David said. I'm very happy we're able to do this on several reasons. One, I can't say enough for our classified staff, and they really did deserve this. I don't think there's a teacher here that it makes your life a lot easier. It makes your classroom go easier. There's just so many things the classified staff does, and this was just necessary. As David said, well, the minimum wage is bound to be going up, and when it does, we are in trouble because our salaries were that low. In comparison with other districts, for our classified staff, salaries were low. And I, too, thank you very, very much, Tim. It was good working with you, and thank you very much for pulling this together and presenting it well, and thank you very much. Anybody have any other comments on item C before we vote on it? If not, roll call vote, please, Mary.
Bixler?
Abstain.
Sal? Yes. Hal?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Warner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Each yes, 1 abstention.
Okay, thank you very much for that vote.
And lastly, I move item D.
Second.
Comments?
I think it's a little bit different. These guys are above minimum wage, but it's nice to get a contract, and it was, again, it was easy negotiation again. The raises, a lot of it came through their willingness with healthcare. The big issue, if you don't follow healthcare, is that I believe the year 2018, the buzzword's Cadillac tax, and so a lot of people that have rich health insurance are going to subject to the Cadillac tax, which is a very large tax on your employer to cover that. The government does not want or is not encouraging employers to offer their employees a much more reasonable health care package, with the idea that that'll make health care affordable to the masses. So that's a key component in any company, to be able to have health insurance that isn't violating the rules of the Cadillac tax. So I'm pretty confident, with not being a healthcare consultant or health insurance consultant, that both of these health insurance plans will keep us, avoid us from paying the Cadillac tax.
Any other comments? I have one, and actually it pertains to both items, the item that we just did approve and for this item too. Budgets, that is if we ever get a budget from Harrisburg and we actually know what money we have coming. But budget process for us here at Northern Lebanon, it seems to come earlier and earlier. By having these two plans in place, we're set up for June, that we know what numbers we need to put in, that it'll make your budgeting easier. I mean, this was just a win-win, and I thank the Act 93 group also for their willingness to do what they did so we can move forward with this plan. Any other comments? Okay, if not, roll call vote, please, Mary.
Sell? Yes. Howe?
Yes.
Lum? Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
All in favor?
And that's completes me.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Martell. We'll move on now to Programs Committee. Director Sell, please do that.
I'd like to move item A. Second.
Comments? Not, roll call vote, please.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold? England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
All in favor?
I'd like to move item B.
Second.
Comments? Not, roll call vote, please.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
All in favor?
I'd like to move item C.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
All in favor?
I'd like to move item D.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
All in favor?
I'd like to move item E.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote, please.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
All in favor?
I'd like to move item F.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
All in favor?
Move item G.
Second.
Comments? Roll call vote.
Fitzler?
Yes.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
All in favor?
And lastly, item H.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Sell?
Yes.
Howe?
Yes.
Lum?
Yes.
Martell?
Yes.
Werner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Fitzler?
Yes.
All in favor?
Any other comments from the Programs Committee, Amy?
That concludes programs.
Okay. Could you comment for people that were not here last time on item A and what it means to the district? That would
I could, I think Dr. Bell could do a better job at that.
Sure. This is a program memorandum of understanding that brings HAC together with the Northern Lebanon School District. As you know, several years ago we finished our technology wing, industrial technology wing, put in some very nice equipment in preparing students for the world work for when they leave our school district. And during that time frame, we had several people visit. Frank Dixon actually came out, the president of HAC came out, the local HAC campus, Lori Bowersox came out. And it's something that they found a significant amount of interest in as we move towards the possibility of creating an opportunity for our students to graduate from Northern Lebanon not only with a high school diploma but also an associate's degree. As part of that, we're working together with HAC and creating evening courses for, quite frankly, a lot of our community people who either don't travel into the Lebanon area or just can't at different times. So HAC is now working with us. We're going to do more of a shared services program, which we've done as a large history in our past, where they actually can use our equipment, use our facility, and those students are actually HAC students. Our students could attend, community could attend, and that's something that is that we've put together so that everybody's not purchasing the same piece of equipment, but we're sharing services as well as taking dollars and combining them for the best benefits that we can. So they're utilizing our facility. In exchange, we're looking for them to help us in relationship to our college and high school program, as well as we believe that there will be greater opportunity for grant investments to keep our technology, meaning our equipment, more up to date for our students to be able to utilize in the future.
Thank you. I can see why you'd rather have him do that. That was a lot to say. But thank you very much for what you have done in the in our plan with HAC, for lack of a better term. When we built the tech center over there, that was one of the items that we had talked about that hopefully this is going to be done. I am thrilled that it's come to fruition and that it's going to further benefit the citizens of the Northern Lebanon community and not just our students. So I think, job well done. Okay, and Amy, you were done with your report, so we're going to move on to Property and Service Committee. Director Gray, please take that.
Move item A.
Any comments? If not, roll call vote, please.
Howe?
Yes.
Lund?
Yes.
Martel?
Yes.
Warner?
Yes.
Arnold?
Yes.
England?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Bixler?
Yes.
Sal? All in favor?
Any additional comments you have regarding the Property and Service Committee?
No.
Okay. All right, then let's please move on to the Superintendent's report.
There's several items that were downloaded. The traditional district enrollment figures, which you'll see, and thankful for the elementary classroom teacher that we're going to be adding, so that will change as of the next time. The next item is the school intervention grant, which you'll see reached a level of approval from the Pennsylvania Department of Education. In addition to that, and the next item, which actually is for your awareness, but probably is going to head towards the Programs Committee, is a letter that we received from the Secretary of Education concerning the department's approach in relationship to procedures and protocols that we may want to look into for drugs that students could have if they would be overdosing on heroin. That's something that a lot of the districts have looked at. The next item that you'll have there is a focus that we have on our content filter, something that our technology department has looked at for a period of time. When students go home, it's causing problems for a few of the students with the filtering. So we're going to have that letter that you see attached that will go home. We will not turn off a filter unless a parent asks us to. So that will be the form that we utilize. Next items that you have are the guidance updates, principals reports, newsletters, and most recent newspaper reports. And that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
I have two questions, but does anybody else have questions first? Okay. At the committee meeting, did you raise your hand? No, you were just, okay, all right. That's important too. Okay, at the last committee meeting, we had talked about moving forward with text alerts. Were you able to do anything yet? We didn't have an awful lot of time, but
Yes, we've had the discussions. Thursday we have our leadership meeting. We'll develop the actual letter that we will utilize to go home and finalize all the areas that we can bring up to speed. So that will be within a week to 10 days.
Anybody have any questions on product development text? Okay. If not, in reading what Dr. Rivera had put out, are our nurses going to be able to, are they qualified? I don't know who is qualified to administer this medication or not, are they?
Well, I think nurses would be, official nurses would be, according to what they're saying. I think the key is to have it actually with the programs committee and discuss that as part of the bigger picture from that perspective. Not a lot of school districts have moved in that direction. I think in the intermediate unit, I heard of one school district that has moved in that direction. Obviously, we need professional development and training and that type of thing that takes place before we would administratively make that recommendation.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, if not, then let's keep moving along in our agenda to the reports of the representatives. Dr. Martell, Career and Tech Center.
As always, we continue to meet. We have a meeting coming up next week. We also continue in negotiations with the professional staff. So things are pretty much status quo at this point in time. One thing I'd like to say is I am, Director Houck mentioned I'm going off the board, and I have been the liaison to the CTC. It would be prudent for someone here, possibly will be the next representative there. I would encourage them to come with me next month to the meeting to at least get someone acclimated to where you go and who you're dealing with and so on and so forth. So if anybody has any inclination to take that position, please let me know. Thank you.
And we move on to the IU13 report by myself. We too are working on some contract negotiations. See, it's even hard for me to say, huh, guys? And just what Dr. Martell had said, obviously I'll be going off the board too, and I've been the rep to the IU13 for the last 12 years. Every single one of you board members should have your hand up in the air and want to be on this committee, because it is where you really learn how to educate kids. I can't say enough for the directors over there, the education that they've given me. What you find out from talking to other districts, it's unfortunately from my house a 55-minute drive, going 55 minutes coming home, but it is the best 2 hours that I can spend over or away from home. You will learn so much. You should all have your hands up in the air and ask to be on this committee. That's all I can say. You would have should have received the highlights from our meeting in your packet, and as always, there's probably a lot of you sitting here that have no idea what an intermediate unit actually is. We're passing out some statistics that I only have one copy of it with me right now, but you will just be amazed to learn what the IU does do, and I can pass that around if you can look at some of the statistics if you'd like to. Right. Haven't heard anything yet, Rachel. I'm really sorry. So we'll move on to the EIT. Dave.
No report.
Alrighty, legislative, Steve.
Nothing new.
Are they working on a budget? Have they been showing up in Harrisburg? And you know, and I laugh. It's an unenviable task, but I just sincerely hope they get something done soon. All right, Rec Commission, Amy.
The next meeting is October 19th at 6:30, and this is definitely an important time for the Rec Commission. If you've been following the news, budget time is now, and there definitely is a deficit that we need to look into how we're going to make up for that. So these are public meetings. We would encourage everyone to come out. President Warner had asked earlier this evening, once I figured out what your email was actually asking, I realized she was asking for the budget, which I can share the proposed budget, which I am working on forwarding to you right now. So I encourage your participation on the October 9th